The barrier-free path has to climb sometimes, and it has to pass through doors. Today we take those two, ramps and doors, because they are where accessible design gets physical, and where a couple of values are genuinely worth memorizing. Start with ramps, interior and exterior. The widths are prescribed, the slope is prescribed, and the slope is the one to lock in, 1 in 12. That is the maximum, and it is a number you should simply know. The other thing worth remembering is the level landing, 1700 by 1700 millimeters, where the ramp meets a door at the top and bottom. That flat square lets someone in a wheelchair orient themselves, turn, and manage the door without fighting the slope at the same time. And the ramp carries the same cross slope limit as the flat path, no steeper than 1 in 50 sideways, which matters most on exterior ramps exposed to grading. That landing leads straight into the second subject, doors. And here is where the design stops being intuitive unless you have tried it. The code provides clearances around a door so a person in a wheelchair can actually operate it. Two numbers anchor this: 600 millimeters of clearance on the latch side if you have to pull the door towards you, and 300 millimeters if you only have to push it. Why the difference? Right, because pulling a door while seated is the hard case. You have to get close, park your chair to the side, reach across, pull the door towards you while backing the chair out of its swing, sometimes with whichever arm actually works. Pushing is easier, so it needs less room. The lecturer made a point we want to pass on because it explains every odd-looking dimension in this section. A lot of these requirements are not intuitive until you live them. He described courses where students spent a day in a wheelchair or navigated blindfolded, precisely so the rules would stop seeming arbitrary. Until you sit in a chair and try to pull a door while reversing, you will not understand why 600 millimeters on the latch side matters so much. The dimensions encode lived experience. There is also an honest caveat the lecturer raised. These figures were set against a typical wheelchair from years ago, and chairs have grown. Modern power chairs are larger, faster, and less maneuverable, almost the SUV of wheelchairs. So a 1500 by 1500 space that was generous once may be tight now, and it is quite likely future code revisions will enlarge these clearances. The numbers are current best values, not eternal truths. And one more practical note. There is a clear width concept for a door that measures the real usable opening, taking into account hardware like a push bar, not the nominal door size, because what matters is the space you can actually drive a wheelchair through. So ramps at 1 in 12 with 1700 landings, and doors with 600 on the pull side, 300 on the push side, all of it encoding what it actually takes to move through a building seated. Okay, so next episode, we finish the general accessible design pieces, the counters, controls, and fountains you reach from a wheelchair.